Hi everybody, this is Norma. I wanted to share my creative space with you. Tara from Desert Divas is hosting a fun Linky party to share your space, and so I wanted to participate with that, and so I'm taking a video to give you a little tour of my space. I've actually have my studio up in our loft, and so this is where, when you come up the stairs, this is what you would see. I've got very limited wall space, and as you can see when you come up, this opens up to our downstairs area. So I've got no wall here, and so I've got to use all the vertical space that I can. So back here I've got some alpha shelving from the Container Store, and that works really great because it's adjustable, and you know our craft supplies are always growing, and you always need to move stuff around to make more space for the things you're bringing in. I share my space with my son, and so this area over here is his space, and as you can see, he's got a huge mess right now. He's been using it, but it's Saturday, he's home. This should get cleaned up today, or let me rephrase that, it will get cleaned up today because he's home and he needs to take care of that. But I keep my cutter right here on his side, and he uses it a lot for his projects, so it's a good place for it. I use IKEA desks for my space. The Alex drawers work really well for me. They have a lot of storage, and that drawer set in the middle, I don't remember what it's called. I've had that from a long time, but it's also from IKEA. So anyway, when you come around into my space, this is the other side, and you see again, very limited wall space. But I've got a file sorter right there that I picked up at Home Goods, and next to it is a Billy bookcase. Next to that I've got some more Billy bookshelves, and the middle piece, I don't remember what that one's called, but it's from IKEA, one of their older lines, because I've had that for a really long time. But I like those because they have glass doors, and so it helps keep the dust out. So anyway, coming on in, you see I've got more open space here, no wall. And so sometimes that makes it difficult for me if I'm trying to do a video because my family is super loud. So right here I've got a chair for my husband in case he wants to come and visit with me while I'm working. And over here is my inspiration wall. This is where I like to put stuff, some projects that I've just completed. I like to display them there. And I've also got some stamps on display. They're my larger stamps, my Cricut, Cuttlebug, and just a lot of other stuff there. And see, this makes it difficult too right here because if you notice, this is a hallway. There's a walk through my space, so that limits what I can use also. That goes into another bedroom right there, so I can't. Another thing I have to work around and be creative in how I use my space. Anyway, this is my desk area where I normally have my computer, but my husband's computer broke probably about 3 weeks ago, and so I've had to move my computer downstairs because we're sharing it. And so that's another one of the reasons why you haven't seen me posting too much or visiting blogs as much. I have to let him use it more. He needs it for work, so my stuff just kind of gets pushed to the back burner while he's using it. But hopefully we'll be able to get him a computer really soon, and I can have mine back to myself and get back to surfing and posting and all that good stuff. And so anyway, on my Alpha shelves I've got just magazines, books, and some more projects. I keep a lot of my K & Company stuff over here, some stamps, and let me show you this train case that I did for Paper Wings with my mixed media kit. And what I didn't show you when I posted about it is the inside, and that's because the inside is still not complete. And if you notice, the bottom's missing. It was a very old, or it is a very old train case, and so it's kind of falling apart, and I've got to get that top back on there. So that's a project for later. I actually got it down here waiting to get put back on. And so over here, I've just got more stamps, and this area right here is kind of like a landing area. It's where I put piles of things that I'm working on, but I don't want to clutter my actual workspace too much. So that's what usually goes there. And below that, I've got more stamps and packaging items that I want to use for altering. Over here on this side, these are all my scraps of paper. They're sorted by color and, well, not just by color actually. I was going to say by pattern, but no, by color is how they're sorted. And on this side over here, this is my actual workspace. And I have got just all kinds of stuff in this bin right here. Scraps of just anything and everything. I mean, I've even got a shoe in there that I was planning to use to create some texture with that backside, with the sole of the shoe. I've got my distress markers, my paints, some paper towels because I make a huge mess. And over there are my paints on a Lazy Susan, some pencils, my scissors, brayer, all that kind of stuff. My palette, and below I keep all of my inks and dilutions, all that kind of stuff right here that I use a lot. Those are all my distress inks. And then my embossing powders and my blocks. These are stencils and more paints, my oil pastels. And this is just like my drawer of embellishments, I guess. I don't know. A little bit of everything in there. And more ribbons down here in the bottom. And so this other side is where I keep my go-to pencils and tapes and, you know, all that kind of adhesives. My beads, all that stuff. Just more beading type of items and tags and punches right there. These are buttons and just mostly buttons, I think, all in here, and brads. And down here I have got a little bit more punches and my rub-ons. And so coming over to my bookcase, this is where I keep my sewing notions, zippers and trims and all that kind of stuff. And below that I've got my flowers and chipboard pieces. So I love my flowers. There's all my flowers. And magazines and my bag. And over here, these bookshelves, they house some ribbons, glitter, adhesives, more stamps. And over here, I keep my Cricut cartridges, blank canvas, and all my papers are here. They're sorted by color and theme. And so I've also got my scrapbooks in here. And down on the bottom, I've got my paper pads. And on the other side is pretty much the same thing. Just more papers, paper scraps. All the same. And on this side, I'm just storing more stuff. Clay, card making supplies, composition, notebooks. All of that is over here. And so that is my space. Thanks for stopping by.